Yo, this is the Scarcity Studios YouTube channel. Please don't forget to like, comment, share and subscribe. And our sponsors are Alpha Claims and Hire Birmingham, the leading and best accident management company. Get a replacement car anywhere in 1 hour. I really appreciate you joining me today, and in 24 hours we've got a lot of news coming from London. Special thanks to our reporter Dave Nathan and also UK News in pictures as well from the footage they have got from these crime scenes. Before we start with the latest stories, I'd like to give you an update on stories that we've covered this week. In relation to the murder of K. John Lubin in NEWHAM, a 17-year-old was arrested on the 13th of December and charged the following day. Azar Mia from Silverland Street in NEWHAM was also arrested, so you can see how quickly some of these cases move and how soon afterwards people get charged. The first incident took place in Hackney at 9:15 on Monday. A man is fighting for his life with a head injury and 2 others were shot in a triple shooting on Middleton Road after police were called to reports of a drive-by. The victims were travelling in a vehicle and shots were fired at them from a vehicle driving the opposite way. One of the men was taken to hospital with head injuries and remains in a life-threatening condition, the Metropolitan Police says. The 2 other men were taken to hospital with minor injuries. Detective Inspector Matthew Webb from Trident said this was a horrendous incident as a result of a firearm discharge on our streets, and they want the community to try to help. And for Trident to be involved, that would insinuate they may believe this is gang related, and we'll definitely keep you updated on any developments with that story. In the second story, in Hounslow in West London, a woman and 2-year-old were found dead in a property on Monday afternoon. Police were called and London ambulance attended at 4 PM to Old Meadow Lane, and a 25-year-old woman and a child were pronounced dead at the scene. The woman and the child, a girl, are related to each other. Next of kin have been informed and are being supported by specialist officers. An investigation is underway by the Homicide Division, and the investigation is in the early stages, but the police are not looking for anyone else involved in the incident. So from that I would take that the mother is potentially the main suspect. So there's a lot of people going through a lot of issues, lockdown at the moment, and London has just gone into tier 3 of lockdown. So that means that the pubs will close and people will be stuck back at home, and be that domestic violence or child abuse, there are many people that still need to be looked after. So rest in peace to that young girl and my condolences to the family. In the next story, a 23-year-old man was stabbed to death and 2 teenagers were both stabbed also and received minor injuries. This happened on St Anne's Road at 7:15. And a 23-year-old was found suffering multiple stab wounds. Our reporter Dave Nathan went to the scene and seen that there was a police cordon in effect and forensics were at work. A post-mortem is due to take place on Tuesday, December the 15th, and the 2 other males that were injured were 17 and 19. DI Claire Hine from Homicide said this is a tragic incident that has taken a young man's life, and we are working tirelessly to find out why and to try and solve this case. So there's been a lot of news breaking out of London in the past few hours, but as you've seen from the other day, the stories do get solved quite quick. So you will definitely see some updates on some of these stories probably as soon as tomorrow. And in some other London street news, on December the 11th, police were called to the Clip and Grand in Soho at approximately 1 AM on Friday. The owner of a West End salon is facing a possible £10,000 fine for creating a makeshift club in the venue's basement. Police walked past sinks and chairs inside the barbers and went downstairs where the owner had set up a bar and dance floor. Turntables and speakers were also set up and more than 100 people were inside. PC Steve Muldoon from the Soho policing team said Soho is on the cusp on stricter restrictions, and this has already gone into effect, and it's deeply concerning and irritating that people are willing to break the rules and put the health of fellow Londoners at risk. They have responded to various parties over the coming weeks in London, and it's been the same here in Birmingham and also in Manchester and Scotland. So I really want to hear what people have to think about the tier 3 restrictions going into effect in wider areas across London, and what you think of these stories. Please pay your respects in the comments. I'll be back again very shortly with some more news. Please don't forget to follow us online as well on Twitter, Facebook and Instagram. I'll be back again very shortly with some more news. Peace.